Rastafari. Here, just set forth hands and I. Let's hear you first. Teach us love, loyalty, and earth of it in Mount Zion. Knowledge and understanding to do thy will. and naked clothes, the sick nourished, and the aged protected, and the infant be cared for. That we shall put fruitful in his life. Enemies are past in the depths of the sea, the bone of the beast. Ivan, Ivan.
Conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of the Most High and light of this world, His imperial majesty, highly Selassie, first nation, king of iration, highly Selassie the first are the Alpha and the Omega.
Beginning without end, first without last, protector of all human faiths and ruler of the universe. So hello God, your majesty,
highly Selassie, great and thundering,
highly Selassie first.
Almighty, highly Selassie. Give the Most High. Yeah.
Rastafari.
Yeah.
I needed the prayer.
Yeah, blessings. We're getting closer to the time to tour the farm. But in tour the farm, what we usually do is just give a little introduction. Don't want to talk too long because I already spoke enough. And then Bo is going to give you a little reasoning concerning the farm itself and basically what to expect on the tour. But my job is basically to give you a little history of the Gideon Forest Farm. It was approximately 16, 17 years ago. I guess 2009 we registered, but we actually met in 2008 on this farm. And we worked, 7 of us. And if you know about the story of Gideon in the Bible, you'll understand why we took on this name. I have to speak of the name first because that's the first thing we did was give this farm a name, you know. And we chose the name Gideon Force. Elder Felipe, come forward so the people can see you, is who actually gave us this name. So give Philip a round of applause even for giving us the name for sure. And the name Gideon he chose was basically because of the story in Gideon, where the Almighty had asked Gideon to defend his nation. And he wanted to take a lot of people to the battlefield, over 30,000 soldiers he had. But Father told him that was too much. If he allowed them to win the battle with 30,000 soldiers, then it would look like he didn't have much to do with it. So he wanted them to know that he was with them. So he told Gideon to go down there with these soldiers and drink some water from the river. And then he told Gideon that those who drink the water by scooping up the water and actually drink it in their hands, lapping it in their hands, those are the ones he wanted to go with him on the battlefield. But those who stay down in the water and lap it like a dog in the river itself, he don't want them people to come. Anyone I could tell me the reason for that? I don't even want to go through that process. I know you know the answer. From a long time I don't see you know the answer. You know? So come give me the answer. Give them the answer.
They were looking for the enemy in the water. The other ones were looking down, so not good enough.
That's exactly what they did. Because they was looking down, they wouldn't be focused soldiers. How you gonna leave your post and be looking down? Enemy could come and attack you from the back, from the side, and you wouldn't know. And even from the front because the head is down. So those who lapped was more in the position where they could actually defend the nation of Israel at the time still. So we give thanks for that knowledge there, so we took on that name. And there's also another mystic of the name is the fact that instead of 30,000 people, he asked it to bring it down to 300 men. Those 300 who lapped, who drank the water like this and was more aware, he chose them to be part of his army. And they made the other persons who was trying to attack them run away so easily, you know? And it's like they didn't even really have to do too much fighting, you know? Because when they run away, that's when they had to run after them, and whoever they had to destroy, they destroy because of the not doing the right thing according to the Almighty. So that's one of the reasons, but there's another part to the name. It's not just Gideon, it's Gideon Force. It's almost like an army. You know, but we're not an army in the sense of a physical army. We're more on a spiritual level. We don't fight any wars. We don't even believe in war at all. So we still took on that name because of the importance of it. Now, Gideon Force is a special battalion that was given by Wingate. Wingate is a soldier from Great Britain, actually. Wingate was one of the battalions during the Mussolini war against Haile Selassie in 1935 when Mussolini invaded Haile Selassie in Ethiopia, hoping, because Ethiopia is the only nation on earth from creation that never been conquered. So when the Europeans came to try to conquer Ethiopia, His Majesty had to stand up and defend. But there came a time where it was too overbearing for His Majesty and he was losing too much soldiers. So he thought the best thing to do was to go overseas to England and actually fight the cause in Paris at the League of Nations. At the time, the headquarters for the League of Nations, it might not have been in Paris, it might have been in Geneva, Switzerland. So basically what ended up happening is that His Majesty now was able to go over to England and stay there for 5 years and plead the cause at the United Nations. He spoke 3 times during that time at the United Nations Assembly. And the last speaking was in 1938 at the United Nations. And then in 1940, he decided it's time for him to go back and try to free up his soldiers because he can't wait on Europe to free up his people anymore. So he took it on his own and he went to Sudan. But in Sudan, he met with this Wingate guy who already had a great amount of army persons ready for His Majesty, which was mostly Sudanese and Ethiopians, because at that time, Sudan was part of the Great Britain Empire because, you know, colonizing and them things, they went on. We have to be realistic about these things. It's history I'm giving you here, it's facts. And then the Sudanese and the Ethiopian warriors, when they saw His Majesty, because the power of His Majesty, because His Majesty's name, might and power of the Holy Trinity, eh? That's what Haile Selassie means. When you translate that name from Ethiopia to English, it means might and power of the Holy Trinity. And he was given that name at 40 days after his birth. And then when he was coronated, he utilized that name from that time until this time. So the soldiers, them name that was there to greet His Majesty was the Gideon Force Battalion. It is in his autobiography, Haile Selassie autobiography. And it was Wingate, and there was another British army personnel that was with His Majesty. So we give thanks for that little history, and that's where the name come from. We mix the two together. Gideon in the Bible, then Gideon Force with His Majesty, because we are Rastas, we believe in His Majesty. And we believe also in the Messiah, and we believe in the Creator of Zion and earth is one. So all them names, they still the Creator to us. Now Gideon Force, the farm itself, is a Tiwaladi house of David, which is another Ethiopian name, which means begotten sons of David. That is our spiritual organization. You will see where we gather when you reach on the top. And then we also have Gideon Force, which is a cooperative. We have about 23 members. But a lot of them work outside in the system, and some of them work right here on the farm. And some of them come and go. And what we do is basically we have rotation on particular days so the group members can give voluntary work to the organization. And they pay the yearly fee, and sometimes they pay a collection of dues or whatever. But once you pay your yearly fee, you're basically covered for the year. And you become a member of the COP. And we do a lot of functions. We have organic markets. That's why we have these booths where we have 4 times a year we have an organic market. And we give thanks for the farm itself. Bo was going to explain about the farm itself, but I just wanted to give you all a foundation to see where the farm was coming from. So we've been in operation from 2009, which is going to make it 16 years of operation. And this is what we have created. A farm where persons can come. Is an organic farm, so you don't have to worry about getting any cancer walking around the farm. The food that you're eating, most of it is organic, not all of it, because sometimes we have to source other food because we don't grow everything all the time. So we just ask I to just come forward and participate. There's a lot of little techniques that we have here that might be able to help you. It's not a big farm, but we do have some big suppliers that we supply to. We basically control most of the food for Marriott, at least the organic section of it, you know, and we got the contract, so even if we wanted to go to a non-organic source, we can do that as well too. For a while we wasn't doing it, but sometimes we do it just so that they can have the food that they want. But when we do that, we usually tell them that the food is not coming from us, so we can guarantee the taste and certain aspects of the food, because we know when we do organic, the food is sweeter, the food is more healthy, and the food is more nutritious. I'm not going to speak anymore. I would allow Boa to come make a small presentation, and then when you go around the farm, you might have a presentation in there from Ross Phillip, who's the one to run horticulture. The farm is very structured. We have about 7 different areas of work on the farm. You know, just like any other agricultural department, you're going to have the marketing area, you're going to have the horticulture area, you have to have the general food area, and you also will have persons dealing with when something goes wrong on the farm or certain work to do, the technical person, he will come and fix all the implements that is on the farm as well too. So we have a structured farm here, and we have many persons who are part of this organization, and we want you to just enjoy this day because it's a good opportunity for you to learn something. And if there's anything you want to ask a question, or if you want to make an input, you can always feel free to do that, because the tour is like that. It's a communicational kind of tour. It's not just go talk and you just have to take everything, because that's a life be. If you don't understand something or you want to make an input because you have a greater knowledge in it that we don't have, you can give us that information. Thank you.
Greetings. Now, respect to the president of the cooperative, Sankofa Maccabi, and I give thanks to the Almighty every time as before after we make a presentation. I will ask Bowen, the manager. I want to thank the workers at this time. I have to thank my staff, because I think they did a great job for the few days getting the place set up to welcome the agent to have a nice environment. So I thank my workers if they're close to hear what's up, you know. Thank you. And thank the cooperative also to support us on the outside of the workforce thing. But I will give a little bit of what we're doing here, because I know you all want to go and have you all fun. I don't want to keep you all bored. But what we try to do here is to have what you call a diverse ecosystem, because we all hear about sustainable agriculture, and we can see, based upon the climate especially, there's a difference in every moment of a hot sun, too much of rain, right? So the whole idea what we're trying to do here is have a system that is self-sustained, right? And having the food trees, which will allow us to have a source of organic matter or humus, also become a part of the food resources, because foods are very useful for health of the health, better than the cooking the vegetables. These are more, we to get the benefits of the vitamins and the minerals without any process. And actually we try to have it set up in a way, like, for example, the wind is blowing through, and so these trees become the speed of the wind blowing through the whole entire land. Erosion is farmers' biggest issue. Soil problem is biggest issue. Most farmers use herbicide to control weeds, insecticide, pesticide to control the pests. So what we're trying to do here is to have a diverse system where the nature can control itself. We want to have all the beneficial, what we call beneficial, and everything are beneficial. Some are predators, some are prey. So having all of these different varieties of trees, shrubs, herbs, even we have animals, so we have what we call the integrated agriculture, where we have our sheep to give us manure, help us domestically to keep the land actually under control, and they become a part of the in terms of making of money, they become a part of the economics for us. Because we send them to who want to use it. We don't eat the meat and last us, we send it to those who want to eat the meat. Right, so having a diverse system like this allows us to have what they call a system that will eventually self. You're going to help yourself. Just like the mountain does. Look at the mountain. Nobody look out for the mountain, and the mountain only get better every year. And the seawater also. We don't have to go and feed the fishes. So what we really, the way the Father created everything naturally, you're just supposed to put the right elements together, and we're going to get the outcome. So health right now is our biggest issue, because our health issue coming from how most of the farmers are dealing with agriculture. And we're very concerned because cancer, for example, I think in every country cancer dominates. the death toll. And then we have all of these chronic diseases, diabetes, blood pressure, stroke, whichever you want to choose. Every country thinks suffer from this issue. So we as Rastas, because we're more Rasta, this is more Rasta oriented than just systematic. And it also is our traditional. And back days farmers having footies on the farm, having the animals right there, and doing a little bit of everything. As the elder mentioned about Marriott, so we don't plant a whole acre of one crop. We do a mixture of crops that are in the right season, the right time, that we reduce using. We use neem oil as a repellent. We use Xantaria as also a fungicide as a repellent. But we prefer to have the nature to manage it itself, that we could get the optimum from nature. In terms of nutrients, it's very important for us to get the nutrients from what we eat. If you don't feed the plant the right, to say inputs, manure, or if you want to call compost, then whatever come out, it will go back to you. Like, if you're using chemical to be the base on terms of the NPK for the plant, then that's what you're going to consume when you consume the plant. And so that's why you see cancer is up, and sometimes we don't know where it's coming from, because if we're eating a lettuce, that is a good thing, or maybe tomato, maybe how that would have been sourced as the seed, if it's a GMO seed, or maybe how it would have been planted, if it wasn't planted into a natural environment, then you can't get this disease still, even though you're eating the right stuff. So when we're choosing the right stuff, you go to the stores to buy the right stuff, you could be buying your death sentence. Guys, this is very serious. As simple as we're taking it. So even how we cook our food in our kitchen, we try to use most of what we have on our farm. We try not to buy too much, and when we buy, we read in the labels. We're making sure that it's certified from, like, let's say, the American government, right? Because we have the certificate to be on each of these things that we buy overseas. And we encourage our farmers, even the industry, the agriculture industry, to push farmers to do this thing realistically. Our ecosystem, again, we hear about climate change and the problem with climate. Again, if you don't have the right chemical, you can call the carbon in the atmosphere to be ash. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, give us back oxygen. So just the trees alone help control the amount of carbon that is in the atmosphere. And we really bothered about the carbon. We have in all this climate meetings in different countries. So these ideas that help eliminate and help strengthen at the same time what we're trying to achieve. They come houses for a lot of the birds, a lot of the different insects, and also that give us this sense of nature. Right? So what we're doing here is just a simple system that the Almighty give us from the beginning of the creation. We're just making sure that, and even for our youth, we have to let our youth see farming from a different angle, because they must see it is something that it look joyful to come into, it don't look too hard to do. So we have a simple section that they can choose, and they can produce most of these crops on it. Even having like a plastic mulch, new age technology, using drip system, plastic mulch timers, it's good for farmers who don't want to do the hard intensity of the work. Small backyard farmers, large scale farmers. So all we're doing here, guys, is just trying to mimic what nature had given to us and try our best to feed our people, as simple as that. So I will say thanks again for choosing us as one of the Eyes and Destiny, and I hope you guys have a good time in St. Kitts. Welcome to our federation, St. Kitts and Nevis. I wish the Eyes are the best for your meetings, and I hope that when you all want to have out of it, you come out of it. So thanks again for choosing Gideon Force Organic, and we're going to have a good time today, guys. I promise you all that. So bless up. We say bless up, and we say Jah Rastafari. Yes, I bless the love.
Yeah, blessings. We give thanks, Boa. Give thanks for that meditation there still. We're going to definitely have a time where the vendors will also introduce themselves, but we're not going to burn you all now. It's time for us to move. I just want to know if I want to eat a little snack before I go, like a watermelon or a pineapple. And for who want to, we're going to bring it out here, and you could just actually take one with your hands or whatever, and you just go with it. Because if you was to serve it like in plate and them things there, it's going to just tie up. So you walk around and you eat it, and you could throw the thing, as a compost, just throw it in a corner, wherever you don't have to try to like hold it and what's not, all right? So, and we also have some iced tea. This is just to break the gas, break the thing, and then when you go forward around, and by the time you come back, you're gonna have a great meal. You're gonna be so happy, and we're not gonna do it for too long. So we want you to still pass by the vendors them first, even if it's not to buy yet, because you could buy now and you could buy later. It's just for you to see what they have, and that's gonna be probably the first leg of the actual tour. So we just ask you to stand up and get ready to make a move. Before we move though, Elder just want one last word. I think he wrote a little poem for the item for I. So after this, we're gonna make a move one time. Don't give me back the mic, cause I ain't done this night.
Yeah, blessed greetings once again. I was so glad to hear of this gathering. As we have one of our chants, and I know what this is a gathering for. So I put together some words within a poetic form, which I intend to put it in music. As a musician myself, our president, many songs of his own orchestra. Many talent among our people. So here is a poem that I wrote to this gathering. The title of it is In This Antiquity. I and I, man, is to go. Gideon, they divide the flow. Looking over the Caribbean Sea, lots of love and tranquility. Come and eat some item food. From farm to table, my tastes so good. You know this I'm a Gideon. I and I chatting up a Gideon. Inspiration. Tango. Here is where I and I chant and hear yeah for evermore. Then join to a laddie in the reasoning. For the divine word come with seasoning. So come gather up and sit around and let I and I reason till the sun go down. I and I shut up a Gideon. Inspiration comes and grow. I and I hear yeah for evermore. Hear the Most High. Give thanks to this poem which I put together for this occasion. So as I said, I am hoping to put it in song. So yes, give thanks once again. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, on the side over there. Yeah, go around there.
There's something in the
Nice. Yeah, man, I mean.
it's very good for healing, yeah. It actually works.
I'm listening.
See? I told you. iPhone niya sa to dapat nito ako. I'm like Anya. See my Anya. My Anya. Now go for you. Then I'm gonna go for you by myself. Come on, come on, come on. Then you're gonna be stable.
Aye. Take it out your mouth. Take it out your mouth. Yeah, Gideon Force luncheon, you know. Yeah, you know, giving the people them clean, organic food, you know. Ital life, you know. Yeah, man. Best of luck, you know. Another day on Gideon farm in St. Kitts, you know. Yeah, big up to the Gideon Force, you know. Yeah, bless your love, you know. Tremendous works, you know. Yeah, man.